Taking into account the massive casualties that had become hallmarks of offensive action in this war, the German generals were the first to see the conflict for what it had become, a struggle of attrition. With this in mind, the Germans designed their strategy for the militarily insignificant but culturally important town of Verdun in France. Occupying this region provided neither side with a strategic advantage, but the Germans recognized that the loss of this landmark would not be tolerated by the French population and politicians. The French army would be forced to waste significant forces to recapture this old fortress town. The commander of the French army, Marshal Joseph Joffre, recognized the German plan for what it was and initially had no intention of fighting to regain control of an area that held no military value. In fact, surrendering the town would shorten his lines of communication and supply, ultimately helping an overstretched French army operate more efficiently. Unfortunately, Joffre was forced into this battle due to political pressure. Given command of the battle, French General Pétain boldly stated that the Germans shall not pass. The stage was now set for one of the most senseless slaughters in the history of modern warfare. The wholesale massacre of French soldiers picking their way across the decimated landscape was mirrored by their brothers who were fighting in the network of tunnels that honeycombed the hills in the region. The tunnels were too low to allow a man to stand upright, making them the perfect killing ground as enemy troops were caught in bunches or wandering lost and alone. The thick gunpowder and dust would also claim their share of victims as men asphyxiated in the airless tunnels. In 4 months of intense combat, the French lost 160,000 soldiers killed. Or, put another way, one death every 2 minutes. The German losses totaled 218,000 men dead, wounded, or missing and presumed dead. Against this backdrop of carnage, there were moments of humanity. Stories of French and German soldiers sharing wells with one another again demonstrated moments of sanity in the brutality of this war. But the leaders of both sides could not tolerate this type of fraternization. They continued to order young men to take land that wouldn't matter an hour later. The war had become a beast that fed on the souls of men on all sides of the conflict.